I really did not think I was going to have to make a third video going over this topic, but due to new information we have discovered, I think we need to make this and to warn people in the community because there is something weird going on here. So for those who don't want to watch the previous two videos, basically on April 15th, a guy called Elder Sultan appeared out of nowhere with a mod pack called Tales from the Zone, as you can see. A lot of people in my comment section asked me to download it, so I did, and immediately I found that Tales of the Zone was basically just an updated EFP pack. And while he did credit Made, Haruka, and the EFP team, nowhere does it say that the entire pack was based on EFP. Now, the Zone Diver, who is apparently an in-real-life friend of Sultan, made a video called The End of Gamma, the start of a new Stalker 2025 mod pack. Now, after I watched that video, I actually made my own video talking about why I believed that this was a scam, and the main reasons were nothing major was changed despite the Zone Diver saying that they were changed. He claims that Elder Sultan re-edited everything from scratch, every single script file in EFP, he made animations work, and he entirely rewrote the AI. Now, the second reason I believe that this was a scam was because of this coffee page, which was linked in the Discord. As you can see in the bottom right, it says fundraising to support my Stalker Anomaly mod pack project in full open world map. If you're familiar with the engine that Anomaly runs on, then you would know that this is practically impossible. Yes, it could theoretically be done, but the amount of work and time put into it would be astronomical. Not to mention that this Elder Sultan person came out of nowhere with no previous mods to his name. Now, since I made those two videos, there has been an update, so I asked Sirius to go through Tales from the Zone and Escape from Appropriate and compare the two. As you can see, he did. Now, if you don't know who Sirius is, he is an amazing modder who has made some absolutely incredible quality of life mods recently for the game. So despite the Zone Diver claiming that they made all these changes, according to Sirius, he didn't see any radical changes. Now, after Sirius compared all the files from Tales from the Zone and EFP, his verdict was that Elder Sultan needs to show some proof that shuts down the scammer theory once and for all, or just admit that it was a scam after all, because he found nothing of consequence throughout the entirety of the mod pack. But here comes the meat and potatoes, and what I consider to be the most immoral thing that this guy has done. Elder Sultan's proof that he was not a scammer was that actually he used to be a developer on Morrowind and Oblivion, he had said, and as you can see right here, he just says Morrowind this time. He said, the YouTube guy is asking for my name to look into Morrowind to see if I was involved into the development process. And by the way, I did not ask for this. The Zone Diver actually misunderstood me saying I don't want his name, because all I was asking for was proof, some kind of proof that he wasn't a scammer. I was not asking for his name, but luckily, to my favor, the Zone Diver is Italian and didn't understand English that well, and so he said that I did want his name. But he said since he's getting tired of this, he's actually going to show a picture of himself to prove that he's not a scammer, and he sent a picture, which I'm not going to show on screen right now, because I don't know if this is what he looks like in real life, or if it was just a random picture he found off the internet. I could not find stuff by going through reverse image searching, but let me tell you the big problem with what he said. Now, this image was his big proof. He posted these two images and said that he was number 6, and when he was younger, he still had some hair this time. Now, if we zoom in here, you can see number 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here, and at the bottom, it's actually numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we go to the bottom here, this name is actually not listed, which, you know, would make sense. Obviously, he doesn't want his full name out there. The issue is that if you go to the Morrowind developer page, you can find the name right there, Victor Brugman. And now here's where the title of this video comes into play. I decided to look into Victor Brugman because keep in mind, so far this scammer has not been truthful in any way, shape, or form. So why would he be truthful now? So if you go to Moby Games and type in Victor Brugman, you can actually find his credits list along with a picture of him in 2023. And the issue is that this picture here looks nothing like the picture that he posted. And now here comes the unfortunate part. Also, while looking up his name, I came across this right here, Victor J. Brugman, and a picture of him, and he passed away in Idaho on October 25th of 2024 at the age of 56. They were doing a celebration of his life on January 11th, 2025 at the Weiser Christian Church, and I really didn't want to have to do this, but I knew that if I didn't look into this further, that he was going to come up with some crazy excuse as to why this isn't him, and oh, I actually miscounted, or something like that, right? So I made sure to call this Christian church and just ask them, hey, is this Victor J. Brugman the same person who worked on Morrowind? Because it says he excelled at strategy and led them to many victories, playing board games and online gaming with his small circle of friends. Victor had a successful career in game design and production. He was the masterclass of sarcasm. And so I contacted the church, and what they told me is, yes, this is the same Victor that worked on Morrowind. But just to be extra sure that this right here is Victor Brugman, I went and I emailed a guy called Brian Upton. Now, Brian worked with Victor a long time ago, very long time ago. He said, I haven't had any contact with Victor in over 2 decades. If he passed away, I'm very sorry. He was a nice guy and a good programmer. I remember him as a short, stocky guy with a mustache. Does that sound like the guy who joined your community? Now, I replied with a couple of images. Now, one of these images is going to be blurred because, as I said, I don't want to show this picture of this guy just in case it's some random dude. And according to Brian Upton, number 6 in the group photo is what he remembers Victor looking like? And the age of the guy in the obituary sounds right. And the close-up photo, which was the 2023 photo, does look like Victor. In other words, the scammer cannot be Victor. Victor is dead. And you know what makes the situation even worse? I had Sirius go into their Discord and try to prod him about this number 6 because I wanted to make sure that he was certain that he was number 6 so that he couldn't claim, oh, I was actually number 5 or I was number 13 or something like that, right? So Sirius said, I'm just now seeing this. You were lucky number 6. Do you plan on adding any references to the maps? And the Zone Diver said, what do you mean you were? He is not a dead man. Ha ha ha. I'm pretty sure he obviously knows that Victor is not Sultan. And I'm positive the Zone Diver knows that Victor is dead. And here's why. Because we figured out something very interesting. If you Google the Zone Diver on Google, you'll find 2 links. And one of these being his old link for his channel called The Flexi Shaman YouTube channel. And then if you go to the Google Drive where Sultan is uploading the mod pack now, you'll notice something very peculiar, that the owner of the account is called The Flexi View. So wait. Let me recap. Apparently, the Zone Diver, who is a 31-year-old Italian who met the 51-year-old Sultan in California, they were such good friends that they decided to share the same Google Drive account. Like, what kind of excuse is he going to use? Seriously, what kind of excuse is he going to use? Oh, he's just borrowing my Google Drive account. Oh, he actually meant number 9. But I wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to back out all of a sudden and say that he was a different number. So I actually looked up every single person on this list and compared it to the photo that he posted in the Discord, and not a single one looks or matches him at all. And look, you can be 70 years old, 90 years old, 120 years old. I don't care. You are going to recognize what you looked like when you were younger. So there is no way he meant another number. But just in case he did, he definitely can't be Douglas Goodall, because this picture looks nowhere close. And you can still find some stuff that he is doing to this day. And he can't be number 7 because 7 is Ken Rolston, who he just so happened to mention earlier. As you can see, I've been thinking over and over on this. And as I'm a reserved person and I will not give my name out of privacy reasons, I didn't back in the day when working on Morrowind under the guidance of Mr. Rolston. Which, by the way, I find it really funny that he went out of his way to remove names like number 2, number 5, number 6, number 8, just like removing these names for whatever reason, when all you have to do is Google Morrowind developers and you can see it right here. The person that he is not, the person he is impersonating. And I just want to know why. When I was talking to Grok, the maker of Gamma, he also said, what the fuck, all these efforts for what exactly? And I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, we're not a huge community. You're not going to be making big money off of this community or something. So what was the point? Did he just want to feel needed? Did he just want to feel like he was worth something? What is the point of lying to all these people and pretending to be a dead man and assuming that no one was going to look this up? No one was going to look into this. How come? And recently, the Zone Diver / Sultan, because I'm assuming they're the same person now, has been trying to prove legitimacy by saying, oh, I'm getting multiple people to work on that mod. Remember earlier we were talking about a mod that would combine all the maps of the zone together into one big open world? Well, he's supposedly developing for that, and here's his proof. So here's one of the guys. His account is from 2016, so what I'm thinking is this is just one of his friends, because as you can see, based on this post, he was in the Gamma Discord, and he didn't even understand how to do stuff in Mod Organizer too. Like, this guy, supposedly, who has no history or anything, is suddenly developing for one of the most complex mods possible? I don't think so. Shiny Bog is also supposedly working on this mod. The issue is he has no history. You can't find anything about him. These are basically just fake accounts. Now, technically, they might be real accounts, but it's not like it matters because we can't find any information on these guys, including the third developer that was added, Luminosity 1000. At the end of this, I'm still asking myself why? Like, why? What was worth pretending and insulting a dead man? Now, let me end this video by directing something towards you, Sultan, if you're watching this video right now. What was the point? Why pretend to be a dead man? Is it because you have no real achievements? Because you've accomplished nothing in real life? Because you can't even modify files for a fucking mod pack? So you have to sit here and pretend to be an important person that worked on Oblivion and Morrowind despite not doing anything? Like, if you were just a scammer, whatever, who cares? But why in the world did you have to bring up a person who's been dead for an entire year to try to pretend to be him, to impersonate him, to go around claiming his achievements as your own when you have accomplished nothing? Honestly, that's what makes me the most mad. But you know what this experience has taught me? That you should never assume the best of people. In my first video and my second video, I kept saying over and over again that I believe this was a scam. However, if Elder Sultan were to put any proof forward, then I would accept it and he would no longer be a scammer in my eyes, and I'd even make an update video talking about it. But what this has taught me is that actually, no, when something's a scam, it is a scam. And not only is it a scam, but you shouldn't trust the person because they are going to double down and pretend to be fucking dead people. And after everything I've shown today, if you still think that there is any hope for this person, then you are the scammer's favorite type of person. A fucking idiot. But either way, thanks for watching this video that I really didn't want to have to make, but someone's got to make it, right? And I'll see you guys in the next episode of whatever I do. Peace.